Christmas?
Christmas.
Christmas is Christmas, it's Christmas, it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I want to do Vlogmas a little differently this year. As well as documenting the memories, I want to just explore the reason for the season. So, we're going to work our way through the Christmas story each week and just explore why it's still relevant and why we celebrate Christmas. So starting with the first part of the Christmas story, which is really God setting the stage. So you've got, between the Old Testament and the New Testament, there's this 400-year gap of silence. And it might seem really strange, but actually God's never late and he's never early. He's always right on time. And this was a moment in history where, because of the Roman Empire, you now had a common language and a road system, which means when Jesus died, rose again and ascended, the gospel was able to spread quite quickly because everything was so interlinked and the disciples could go out and, common language, road system was great. I felt like the first bit of the Christmas story tied in nicely with wrapping up presents as one of the key prep stages of Christmas nowadays. So that is what we're going to do as we talk about it. I am wrapping, you just can't see what I'm wrapping. Yeah, so I think we all know that actually the start of the Christmas story, the angel visiting Mary, but actually there's a little bit before that. So I'm going to go based off Luke chapter 1, if you want to read it yourself. You have a guy called Zechariah and his wife Elizabeth, and Zechariah works in the temple, and the time came for them to burn incense. A key time back then that came with a lot of rituals, and it involved going into the holiest of holies, which is a special part of the temple, so only one person would go in. And it actually says that Zechariah was chosen by lot, but really it was all part of God's plan. And just a real reminder that God's in control, and sometimes we think it's an accident, but actually it's God working everything out for his glory. It's never by chance or a coincidence. So he goes into the temple, and the reason it's not a coincidence is God then uses that. The angel Gabriel speaks to Zechariah. The angel comes to him and he says, your prayer has been heard, because he and Elizabeth really wanted a child, but they hadn't been able to have one. And Elizabeth was now too old to have one, technically. And the angel says, no, you are going to have a son. And that son is going to be called John. And it actually says to make ready a people prepared for the Lord, which I thought just fit in so nicely with this whole theme of God setting the stage, God getting things ready as we get things ready for Christmas. So you have this miracle pregnancy, and then everyone knows from all the, a lot of people are familiar with the children's nativities and stuff, that the angel Gabriel appears to Mary and says, you're going to have a child, and his name will be Jesus. Just a couple of things about this. One, the fact that both times God gave them the name and their purpose, like what their life would be, I think is really cool. Like, there's such intention. And also, like, it's the same angel, it's a miracle pregnancy. Yeah, and their name is given and a glimpse of their purpose and life on the earth. Okay, my camera died. Gabriel tells Mary that Elizabeth is also pregnant because she's her relative. Just how kind it is that they get to then sort of go through that together and encourage each other, particularly as this is such a key time for family now, that Christmas is a time where we gather with our relatives. Right back when this first Christmas involved the connection of family and encouragement of doing life with family is really cool. I'm going to keep wrapping presents, and I hope that when you are wrapping yours and getting things ready for other people, that you can think about how God was getting everything ready for his plan of redemption. here's some family time that we've been having. Good morning, it is the 2nd of December. One of the joys of Advent is Advent calendars. This year we have a mix of tea and books. We have a black tea tropical and today was an Earl Grey. These cute little decorations that are also books. The first day was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, which is funny because I just got Mum and Dad to finally watch Wicked Part 1, which they loved, and I'm about to go watch Wicked Part 2, so I was like, this is fun. And it actually has the first 2 chapters of the book inside, which is really cool. Day 2, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which I was literally thinking yesterday. I was trying to work out, I thought I was going to watch something, and I was trying to work out what I wanted to watch, and I was thinking about rewatching Sherlock. So now I'm like, maybe I should. So that's the fun Advent things, but we've also, as a church, been sharing readings for each day. So I'm going to make breakfast and we'll look at yesterday's because I haven't turned my phone on yet and I'm not entirely sure what today's is. John 1 verses 1 to 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Brain. Okay, we're going to do a bit of avocado and scrambled egg on toast. I'm getting egg everywhere. So there's a couple of things I love in this. Through him all things were made, without him nothing was made that has been made. Like, how amazing that just every part of creation is from God. Yeah, just that every aspect of creation is an opportunity to connect with God, because actually it was all made. In him and through him we were made, like given breath and life through him. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. Like, he is the only place to find true love, peace, joy, and life. And that's like, he wants to bring life and light. And sometimes people have such a view of like, oh, life with Jesus is all about rules, and I guess almost like a fear of being limited and missing out. But Jesus actually says, I've come so they might have life to the full, and that the world has a really warped view of what life to the full looks like. And people chase after it and usually end up just a bit lost, confused, broken, and down. But actually, living with Jesus gives you true life that refreshes your soul and restores you and leads to eternal life, not a temporary high or a constant striving and eventual burnout. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it, which there's a little note, and it could be the darkness cannot understand it or has not understood it, which just felt really apt. I don't know. I can't really describe why that also possibly being understood instead of overcome, but just a real encouragement that the victory has been won. Whatever you're facing, the darkness cannot overcome it. Jesus won the victory on the cross, and that is why we celebrate his birth, because he couldn't get to that without being born. Yeah, but the whole God's redemption plan starts with him giving his son and Jesus becoming fully human as well as fully God and living that life on earth to pay the price that we couldn't. That is breakfast made. A little bit of trivia. I absolutely love this. Voila. Oh yeah, that looks so good. I'm going to enjoy this. What's happening?
What's happening? The sun is shining. The rain is falling.
It's not a photo.
Sorry?
It's not a photo.
Not a photo. Oh. Hello. Now you got me looking really stupid.